Ich war kein Football-Cast, we're here to light the fire. Stating facts and stats, you know we never tire. Bringing the heat up, that passion won't retire. Busting through the mic, our voices never expire. We ignite the spirit, never fading out. Light the torch, USC fans rise up high. On this podcast, we aim for the sky. Knowledge and entertainment never lie. Together we stand, let the truth amplify.
What's going on, Trojan fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Light the Torch podcast. So we just got three of us today, and put your prayers out for Raul. He's not feeling so good, but he should be back here soon, hopefully. But nothing but serious going on out there. But just wish him the best because he's not feeling too good right now. But yep. This is, I guess you can say, a 4th of July episode of the Light the Torch podcast, because we had a great 4th of July based off what happened on the 4th. So let's go ahead and introduce guys here. We got Mr. B. Jones. I haven't seen B. Jones in a long time. I'm surprised. Does anyone know who you are anymore at this point?
I guess you got to reintroduce me, man.
No, it's been a while, but he's definitely pretty excited about what's going on with college football 26 here. So, but yeah, and then we got Mr. Gunnar Atterbury. How's it going, Guns?
Doing good, man.
How was everyone's 4th of July, by the way, besides Booby Feaster?
It was great.
Yeah. No complaints, man. Got to spend some time with the family and watch some fireworks.
Yeah. I didn't do any fireworks, but I did some grilling though, so why is this off right now? But all right, but yeah,
just saw some fireworks. Well, didn't do anything, but it was nice.
I did grill up a nice tomahawk steak, so it was actually pretty good. So I was pretty proud of myself for that. So
does sound delicious.
Yeah, I'm still waiting.
Yeah, it's on its way. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
But all right, we got some stuff to talk about here. We got a new recruit committed this past sport, and then we also got some college football 26 ratings, and then also just maybe kind of just opening up the discussion through the team or through us, and just the chat of what does Lincoln Riley need to do or have to do to lead this team to success. So, but yep, and then let's go ahead and start. Do you guys want to start off with the man of the hour at this point?
Yep.
All right. Well, we got Booby, not the rated R, but Ethan Booby. So yeah, 4-star wide receiver out of DeSoto, Texas. Originally from Louisiana, so he's a Louisiana boy. So if you guys listen to his interview with Scott afterwards, you can definitely tell he's from Louisiana. He still has that twang going on, but yeah. So what are you guys' thoughts and reactions to Booby Feaster committed to USC? B. Jones.
Yeah, man. Very speedy kid, very athletic. He can play physical as well. He does high point the ball very well. He's only 6'1". It's crazy to say only 6'1", right? He's only 6'1", but he plays bigger than he is. So he definitely has long arms. He's a lanky kid, man. And he really can get after the ball. Like I would say he's more comparable to Jacoby Lane, but without the size. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, that's a great gift for us, man. Great gift for Coach Simmons, man. Shout out to Coach Simmons on this.
Yeah, shout out to him. Guns, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is the icing on the cake for the wide receiver class. You will get 5 wide receivers. They're all different kind of just builds and wide receivers, right? And then regarding to, again, with Booby, I think he has a chance to really start day one. We'll see. Again, he was the top wide receiver of the 27 class. Obviously, that reclassification could maybe, hinder him. I don't think so, but just from a an optics perspective and whatnot. But yeah, a big get for Simmons. Hopefully that the talk about Simmons dies down a little bit. I doubt it will, but it's good to see that he gets a W. And it really shows that he's been comfortable, with Texas, in terms of recruiting, right? Like he's still, going over California and getting well known. And with Savage there, I think that can help him more in the long run in terms of California wide receivers. But yeah, you could tell that he knows his people out there in Texas. So shout out to Simmons, and I'm glad we got Booby Feaster on the squad.
Yeah, definitely great to have Booby committed to us. I know there's a team that's happy that we got our final receiver, and they're like, okay, good. Finally, we don't have to really compete to get Jalen Lott. But yeah, really quick shout outs to Kristen, always a huge supporter of the channel. He says, "I'm here, fellas. Let the show begin." Thanks for the $5 donor. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, also, if you guys think about it, this is a double effect or dual effect for us. We could be getting paid Houston at this point because they're really close to each other for the 2027 class, even though he committed to or he's reclassified to 26. They're definitely good. And wasn't someone saying that he was at his commitment party? So hey, that's definitely that looks good for us. Hopefully he remains his favorite receiver to want to continue throwing to and in college football. And yeah. But he's been linking up with some of the other recruits, like he's been linking up with Jonas as well. So it's good that to see him linking up with the 2026 class. So he's a little like he came close to the end of where we were hoping him to be, but hey, he's with USC now, and if you guys haven't seen his commitment video that he posted afterwards, it's really great. So. Definitely go ahead and check that out. But yeah, anything else you guys want to say about Booby? Like,
man. Shout out to sorry, what you saying?
I was just going to say I was going to have a little comparison with him. I was thinking maybe just a faster Juju. Like Juju was pretty physical when it came to that, and he had great hands, and he knew how to block, and he was good with contested catches, but he's just faster than Juju. They're about the same size too.
That's fair.
But yeah, what were you gonna say?
I would say shout out to Jakeem Stewart, man, for proving his word, man. He said he was gonna recruit the best guys out of Louisiana, and so far he's doing so, man. So his relationship with Booby Feaster and Peyton Houston is definitely helping us out.
Yeah, I remember that, Ken.
Why? Somebody calling you out, guys.
Shout outs to shout outs to Romero.
Yeah,
Booby definitely a great commitment. Any word if he shut down his recruitment? I know A&M not letting this recruitment battle die. Well, based off what we know about Chad's policy, or just like kind of suggestion, is that he shut it down. So he must have agreed to that, or I don't think Chad would loosen up his kind of his rule for just one recruit. So I don't know about that. So I'm assuming he's shutting it down, just like a silent shutdown, just like Jonas and like Braden and all them. They haven't outwardly said that they're shutting it down, but we can just really assume at this point.
Yeah.
Wait, what does he say about me? USC was ranked 21st in third downs last season, so why? Hey, you know that they gave up a lot of big third downs. Like honestly, I just feels like it was just bad on the third down in general. But I could be mixing.
Third downs, it was fourth downs. That when people went for it on fourth, that's what killed us.
Yeah, that could have been it because they knew they can get it on fourth down against us. Hit that like button, yeah. Oh, shout outs to Ken, by the way. He hooked me up with some cool a cool little gift this weekend. So shout outs to Ken for that. So, but yeah, do you want to move on to the college football rankings or Lincoln Riley?
Yep, let's do the rankings first.
All right, I'll let you take that away, B. Jones.
Can you pull it up? Let's see, where is it?
Can you share it or can you present it?
I can share real quick. Yeah. So this is from teamcrafters.net, and I would assume again, unless my website would present it. But yeah, here's our top offensive players, top defensive players.
So Makai is our top rated offensive player with 90, which is good. I'm glad we didn't have the only person that we had in the 90s last year was Jonah Monheim, right? I'm really surprised that Elijah Page is not higher on here. Kind of surprised by that. Jacoby Lane, I don't know why they're putting him at 89, but I mean, I guess he didn't have as much yards as McKylum, and that's what a lot of people have been saying is that he hadn't had that much yards. But look at all the touchdowns he had. Eli Sanders, I mean, I'm sure that they're not too familiar with Wayman, so that's probably why they're going with Eli over Wayman.
So Wayman's actually an 87, and you'll see it when
Really?
you scroll down. So yeah, Wayman's still an 87. They just put Eli there. Blake's an 87 as well. So I'll just kind of keep scrolling down slowly.
And so DJ Harvey and Kamari are the same. I'm assuming these are all kind of alphabetical order then the aspects of the rankings that they're tied. So Kamari and DJ are the same. Go up a little bit. Who's on defense? Who else on defense?
Oh yeah, go back up.
Oh, so Eric Gentry is the wow, they have him at 84. I mean, he's been injured, so I guess that's probably what they're saying in that situation.
Sure, yeah. There's a few people that I feel got snubbed. Mention one, I would say Cam Fountain is 79. I think that could be a little higher. I would have been cool with 81 at least. For the simple fact that the dude was a highly ranked 4-star coming in. If you play the game, right, you go to RTG, you make your RTG player, and you start off as a 4-star. What's your rating, guys? It's got to be like what, mid 70s, high 70s?
Yep.
So you get a guy like Cam Fountain who's going into his second year and definitely showed his development last year. So come on, man. I don't think he's in the 70s anymore. We gotta get him at least in the 80s.
Yeah.
What do you got on Cam?
But I'm sure things will go up towards the end of the season. I'm sure that these update in real time, so I'm not too worried about it. I think Jakeem can actually end up being one of our highest rated defensive linemen towards the end of the season. But they're definitely where is Tompkins at? I wonder if they have him anywhere in the 80s or 70s.
Yeah, 77.
77?
Yeah, that's going to change.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys right now, that's going to change. What up, Carter?
Man, there's going to be a few, like, this Cade Fox guy, that's not real. Abraham Jackson's not real.
There's
a few of those players. Yeah. Like, we don't have those players on our roster.
This is specifically just us. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So another one, man. Xavier Jordan at 72. Highly ranked 4-star. Right?
Who was again, sorry?
Xavier Jordan.
Under the mid 70s. In the second year of college.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's something just ain't good.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, our guys get snowed every year, so it's nothing new. I mean, look where Makai Lemon was at last year.
Jaden was put at what was he at? 86.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ooh, Gabe is gonna like this one, man. Joey Olsen,
Where's Olsen at?
69.
Oof.
Yeah.
Scroll down a little bit.
He hasn't really had any meaningful time, so it makes sense.
This one right here, 68. Braylon Conley. That is wild.
Yeah.
Well, you got
That is
to factor they haven't had any significant play time. Like, what are they supposed to go off of?
But like, get this though. Already watch this. BC, watch. We scroll back.
He was a 3-star coming out of high school.
So Riley Wormley, true freshman, is not going to play the field because of his injury. He's a 77 overall. Explain that.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. That really doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I honestly feel like anyone that hasn't had any major playing time I'm not surprised, are in the 60s or whatever. If they haven't had any playing time, how are you going to expect it? Like, I honestly feel like, do they have Jakeem on here?
I have not seen Jakeem, actually.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, they should be, like, no higher than, like, a 70 or 75.
There's a lot of freshmen that aren't on here yet, so we'll see when the game is up.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have Jakeem, like, in the 70s.
Yes,
I'm assuming this is the legit roster. I don't know. If I'm a website, I wouldn't promote a roster if it's not legit. So I'm assuming again this would be first day ratings, and then they'll do monthly, or I think it was monthly. But yeah, they definitely do updates every so often. So
Kristen, don't pay attention to Kenneth. He's just a troll.
Listen, make all your complaints about these ratings to @UniformGuru at on X. That is the guy who does EA's college football ratings.
Really?
On Madden too. So, Uniform Guru on X. That's who we complain to.
So who do you think by the end of the season, like, because these are going to update throughout the season, right, Guns?
They better.
Did they update throughout the season on 25 or no?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So by the end of the 2025 season, who do you think is going to be our highest ranked player
for 2026?
Yeah, for 2026 for the game.
By the end, wow. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, it's going to be one of the wide receivers. I'll say Lemon, just because he's already at 90, and so I mean I could see him maybe getting that 99. That's only 9, so I think it's feasible. But I'll say Lemon would be our highest by the end of the season. It's gonna be a race between him and Lane, so in my opinion.
Correct.
Okay, so then do defensive player then for
defense. I think this is Ramsey. I mean, I think 88 is. I don't understand the 88 in my opinion. I think he should be a 90. I think Ramsey would be our highest defensive player. I think somebody who is low. I mean, Tompkins we talked about. I think Keyshawn Silver is pretty low as a defensive player. He's only an 83. I think he has a good chance to really be, in the 90s by the end of the season.
See, I think for offense, I can see Jacoby Lane being up there because I think he will end up with more touchdowns than Makai. Based off last year, I think he's just going to be more of a red zone threat. I do think that Makai's probably going to still have like slightly more yards than him, and he's probably going to have more receptions. I feel like
All-purpose yards.
Yeah, all-purpose yards. I can see that, but I just think Jacoby is probably going to stick out with some crazy catches too, and I'm sure they take into account like crazy catches that people make or whatever. I don't know how they're doing these rankings, but I could see Jacoby being our highest rated offensive player. Maybe Wayman might sneak up there when he actually gets some college football reps and some FBS reps. I can see him sneaking in there, especially if he has a 1,000-yard season, which I fully expect him to have a 1,000-yard season or close to it. Then for defense, I want to say I think Kamari will end up being our highest rated defensive player, but I think Gentry could be pushing behind him afterwards. And it looks like B. Jones just dropped off. I think he's having some issues with his internet. But yeah, I honestly feel like I think either Mackay or both Mackay and Jacoby will probably be, I'd say, top 10 receiver within the CFB 26 by the end of the season.
I like that. Yeah.
So,
and if anyone's curious, I know we talk about speed from time to time. Marcellus, Prophet, and Jay Fair are our highest.
HR says, "Don't sleep on McCree. He reminds me of Tyler Higbee." Oh yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if the Rams picked him. Yeah,
I agree.
I
hope we do use him more as a passer. I just feel like early on we could see him more blocking, but we'll see.
We need to see more pass catching out of the tight ends. I really do think that we need to keep see that just to keep Mark Bowman happy. I know he's getting paid a lot, but I'm just saying, like, you want to know that you have more than just a blocking role coming out of it. And I know you can't really keep Bowman at just blocking because that dude is too athletic to keep in that kind of role. But like, we need to make sure we are more we utilize the tight ends a lot more. But let's hear what does the chat think? Who do you guys think is going to be the top offensive and defensive player by the end of the 2026 season or CFB 26 this year? But let's see. B. Jones says he'll be right back. But did we want to go ahead and jump into what does Lincoln Riley have to do to lead this team?
Oh yeah, just real quick, just want to go over the rest of these stats. So like our highest strength guys, Keyshawn, Lemon and DJ Harvey, Marcellus and Prophet. Acceleration is DJ Harvey. Change of direction is Prophet Brown. Highest injury is Keyshawn. Zaire Smith, who is not a legit person. And shout out to Willie Washer, if that's how you say the last name, our incoming freshman center. Highest stamina is Jay Fair, Micah, and those two I thought it was going to be Parson. And then highest awareness, real quick, is Jaden Maeva. I think that will give a little chuckle for some of those haters out there, aka Ken.
Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler. But fortunately, Tyler's never really watching. But yeah, anyway, that is it for our kind of just the highest. But yeah, let's get into the Lincoln conversation.
All right, let's go ahead.
I'll stop sharing.
Get rid of that here. But yeah, so what does Lincoln Riley have to do to lead this team to success in the 2025 season? So, you go ahead and give us 1 point you feel like, Guns.
Need fresh water for this one. I mean, start right. We got to run the ball. We got to be at least 50-50. Back to his OU days, he was in the 60% area in terms of running the ball. So we got to, really run the ball to lead this team to success. That's number one. Number two, just managing the game. I'm not really talking about like timeouts, but I'm just like know when to punt the ball instead of go for field goals, right? Like maybe it's nice to go for a 50-yarder here and there, but like I don't want to see it consistently. Like I'd rather, again, punt the ball and let the other team go 80, 90 yards on our defense, right? Like let's use the field and use it to our advantage, right? Our defense is going to be the leader of this team, so force the team to go 90 yards because I don't think that's going to happen a lot against this defense. So, if we get a 3 and out, and we are in great fielding position for the offense again. So stuff like that. I would say those are my two big things right now with Lincoln. So,
all right. And shout out to Anthony James for the $4.99 dono for saying Elijah Page will be the best on offense and found best on defense. Hey, that's actually not a bad. That's not some bad picks there. I think that could actually be a situation that we see when it comes to the CFB rankings. So I actually don't mind that. Fountain definitely will explode. And but yeah, B Jones. Two things that you think Lincoln Riley needs to, what he needs to do to lead this team to success.
Only two?
Start with two, and we'll go. So you're not taking everyone else's.
Yeah, we will start. We'll start with two. The travel schedule, man. We have to get there earlier in the week. Obviously, what we did last year did not work for us. We lost to teams that we had no business losing to. And I'm pretty sure, we just came out sluggish. I mean, you saw it in person, Lucky Chan. The team just did not look like they were ready to go coming out of the gate. So that definitely has to be addressed, man. Secondly, like Guns, I'm sure Guns mentioned it. I didn't get to hear everything, but I'm sure he mentioned that we have to stick to running the ball. I mean, last year we probably had the best running game in the conference. We just didn't do it enough. Didn't do it nearly enough. So, everybody's talking about Katron Allen and Nick Singleton, but I would say our guys outperformed them last year, in my opinion. I haven't looked at the numbers, but
Ohio State had some good running backs. They both had two. They both each had 1,000-yard rushers rushing. So
right, that's because they ran the ball enough. They got those opportunities. I would say that we could have, I believe that we could have had two 1,000-yard rushers.
We would have 2,000-yard rushers. Not at the very beginning of the season. The very beginning of the season was not great with running the ball.
Nah, bro. Q was doing his thing, man.
He was, but it was still like they were still trying to figure things out. Like if Zach Hansen would have been coaching the whole season, I think it would have been better.
I get what you're saying with the O-line, but. Yeah, but I mean, so this year we don't have that excuse. So
yeah,
and we got a loaded backfield. Running back room. So that shouldn't be an issue.
Well, I feel like for me, when it comes from Lincoln Riley, I definitely think he needs to. Of course, time management was probably one of the biggest situations. I felt like it felt like he was getting it at one point, but then he would switch it up, and then just the timeouts just were very sporadic. Like he was trying to that one timeout that he called right at the end of half. Like why are you doing that? That makes absolute no sense. And also, I feel like his play calling was a little bit I know Tina was talking about not trying not to outsmart every coach. I didn't feel like he was trying to outsmart a lot of coaches though. I just felt like some of his play callings were really repetitive and pretty obvious of what they were doing. There was a lot of times where they were able to sniff out that bubble screen to Lake McCree all the time. He wasn't being really creative with some of his play calling. There would be times where we're like, oh wow, we didn't see that play coming. But then after that, you can tell we're like, okay, it's going to be a pass. It's going to be a short run. You knew when Zachariah Branch was going to get the ball, or at least get attempted to throw the ball to him. There was not really too much surprises when it came to his play calls, at least in my eyes. I know some people may disagree with that, but I just felt like it was pretty bland and pretty predictable.
At times, yeah, for sure. There are definitely some repeated plays that made no sense at times. I mean, hope that's corrected.
And some clear running, like there would be some clear running downs. Like it would be like 2nd and 3. Like, okay, run the ball and then pass it, and then he'd get the first down, and they're like, okay, you just got the first down with a rushing play. Now run it again. Keep running it. Keep running it. Don't pass on first down. Why are you passing on first down?
So, and you guys probably remember me saying this. We have to run the ball even when the other team knows that we're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We still have to execute. Yeah, we still have to do it. So, hopefully, someone got in his ear or he saw it for himself while watching the film back, and he realized that, that definitely needs to happen.
Yeah, Anthony James says, hit that like button, but defense needs to get off the field on 3rd down. Not Riley, but would be huge on judging the defensive jump this year. Yeah, definitely would be.
I have full belief that that's going to happen this year. I mean, the defensive line looks. I know you guys heard me say it over and over and over, man. Trust me, the D line looks a lot better this year. We should be getting more pressure.
Better not make you look dumb.
3rd down situations. Yeah. A guy that no one is really talking enough.
B. Jones got kicked out. So we'll never know who he's talking about at this point. It's always going to be a mystery. We don't know who the guy that he's talking about. But yeah, what else do you think? Oh, there he is. Maybe you can tell us finally.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
You hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So a guy that isn't being talked about enough, Elijah Newby. That having that speed off the edge is going to make a lot of difference. I don't think you guys really understand just yet. You know what I mean? Exactly how much of a difference that's going to make on 3rd downs. But trust me, man, Elijah Newby. Nobody's really talking about that move that was made, but they will be. Everybody's be talking about it enough.
When you're talking about a guy that hasn't had much playing time, I understand why people are not talking. I know we know about him because we see it all the time. But no, you think these people pay attention to these moves out there? You think anyone's going to be paying attention to that? No, they'll pay attention to it the moment that they see it happen on the field. What is going on with your background, B. Jones?
StreamYard does not like me today. I don't know what's going on with you.
The internet doesn't like you today. My internet doesn't like me right now. It shows I have bad internet right now. But HR Pickens stuff says, I'm not sold on Page. He got smoked by Michigan. He could be good. We'll see. I mean, that was one game, and that was probably one of the best defensive linemen that you're going to be playing. So I don't like. There's a lot of other great games that he had on that edge. So I'm not too worried about him. What do you guys think about that comment there?
Yeah, I'm not too worried about Page right now. Yeah, that's one game on the road. Very loud environment. People think that it's not loud there. It gets loud at that Michigan field. So, I forget the guy's name, but he's playing against a senior that got drafted this year. Very quick first step. So, I think he learned a lot from that game, and I think we saw improvement since then. So,
exactly.
I mean, our whole offensive line didn't do that well against that defensive front. So I don't know if you can really blame Elijah Page on that, and probably you could blame some of the coaching in that situation. So, but none of our offensive line, like we had to make some huge changes to the offensive line. In that Michigan game to actually bring it a little bit closer. So I'm not worried about Elijah Page in that situation. Tina says, selfishly, I wanted Newby at linebacker to get him in the field often. Hopefully he gets an opportunity at edge. Well, yeah, it would be nice to have him at linebacker and also have that depth, but You never know. He could go back to it. He's athletic enough to be able to do it.
Yeah, like that kid is someone who you could put anywhere, man. He's that athletic, and he has the size. He's at 232 right now, and he can still move. You know what I mean? So we could possibly see him play some middle as well. But right now, man, I like the fit for him at edge.
HR says the center transfer from Syracuse is legit. I saw him dominate UNLV last year. The Rebel line was legit too. They won 11 games and were 1 win away from the playoffs. Yeah. And then Preston, shout out to Preston, said Braylon Shelby will have 6+ sacks. Not gonna lie, Lucas is toast. Wow,
Good.
That's a pretty bold statement.
Lucas is toast. I don't know about that one, P.
P. Joe, that's a guy right there. So watch out, Preston. Watch out, dude. Watch out.
Hey, I like Braylon Shelby too, and I also like Anthony Lucas. I like all of our edges at this point. All of our edges have the ability. All of them have the ability to be first rounders, second rounders, and it's just really it really all depends if Lucas can stay healthy.
That's above everything. If we get a healthy Anthony Lucas, then we're gonna be just fine. He was arguably our best
up last year,
right? So, but yeah, I mean, if the guy can stay healthy, it'd be good. But he definitely has competition going into this fall. He's looking to get the first spot.
LSU hated him last year. He was lighting them up.
He was demolishing dudes again.
Bro, like coming off that edge, coming around to that, was it the right tackle or the left tackle, the one that just got drafted into the NFL that got lit up by Lucas?
Yeah,
I forgot who it was.
As well, Campbell, I think.
I would say not to get into this more, but I think the issue from an optics perspective is that, like, when people look at Lucas, they think he's more of an edge. Like, he's really like obviously a D end, but like he's more a run stopper, basically, is what I'm trying to say, right? Like, he's not a true pass rusher, right? Like, again, no offense to him, but he's still looking for some sacks. So, like, he's really good at stopping the run, which is what he was doing really good at for us. So, I think that is like when we start comparing, him to other the ends, like optics get skewed, if that makes sense. So,
right.
But
yep, I agree.
It really all depends on where we're going to be using them, and like all of our edge rushers all have their own special or have their own like abilities that sets them apart from each other. But Arthur Sanders says this year will be special on both sides of the ball. 5-star talent across the board. I don't appreciate you, Arthur. But what else does Lincoln Riley really need to do, or just in general? Or I guess we can keep it with Lincoln Riley. But anything else you guys think that Lincoln Riley really kind of needs to improve on that we haven't seen in the past 4 years?
Yeah, being president in huddles. There was times that we saw his face buried in the play sheet.
Yeah.
When in crucial times in tight games where we need to be getting the guys hyped and pumped up and having them focus, it didn't seem like we really had that guy. It doesn't even necessarily have to be Lincoln Riley. Somebody needs to be in there getting these guys mentally focused. If it's me, I got to see my guy. I got to look in their eyes, make sure they're ready for this moment that's about to happen right now.
Yeah, he needs to be a head coach and not an offensive coordinator.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's definitely good, because there was a lot of people, like when we were having those tough losses where people were taking pictures during timeout huddles where you could just see Lincoln Riley off to the side and not in the huddle with the team while it's during timeouts. I'm hoping now that he has a lot more of the staff that are taking more away from him, that he's able to kind of be more present. And I mean, like, being the offensive coordinator, or at least he is the OC when it comes to calling the plays. He should still be in the huddle with the team, just drawing up players, doing something. So,
yeah, I mean, at the very least, be at least closer. Right? Like, if you're trying to look at your playbook and draw plays, maybe you don't need to be in the huddle, but like, right, there's kind of been times where he was here, and then the they were over there like 5-10 yards away. Maybe just be like, right outside, in my opinion. So. And then going back to the running game, I know it's a two-parter, right? One is sticking to the run game from a play calling perspective. The other is the O-line, right? We understand the O-line factor of that. I think everyone is on the same page that the O-line definitely needs to be more consistent. But just want to kind of share some stats for you. So last year, again, and this is just Big Ten only, Big Ten average for rushing, we were second in the Big Ten, 5.2, right behind Penn State. Attempts, and again, this could be a factor due to the O-line and whatnot. However, though, we were 15th in the Big Ten, right? That's a whole big wide variance, exactly difference. So I think that's kind of the issue that most of our fans have, right? Is sticking to the run game more because we were running the ball so good from an average perspective. So.
Yeah. When it comes to the offense, it's nice that we have two solidified receivers that are going to be consistently on the field. Because last year we were rotating receivers and no one was really getting a hot hand, and so it was just kind of hard to just kind of get someone really going when it came to because there were times where Jacoby would be going really well, especially in that Wisconsin game, but then we'd be taking him out, then he would be getting a rest, which he needs, of course, but then it kind of cools him down. And so I definitely am happy that we have two primary receivers and we're going to be kind of rotating off like the third receiver in that situation. So, but yeah, and you ask and we deliver there, Kristen. There's the link, so go ahead and hop in, buddy. That was quick. That was quick. He did not hesitate. What's going on, Kristen? You're on mute. You're on mute, Kristen.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
What's going on, fellas? I couldn't miss getting in on this one. This was a good one. Well, then B. Jones quit.
He's been having some internet issues. He's been having some internet issues, so just go ahead.
But what I was going to say is that, men lie, women lie, numbers never lie, right? But numbers can be misleading. Yeah, we had a good average, but if you watch our games, it was hit or miss. We'll break for 12, 20 yards, and then we'll have our next 5 or 6 run is negative plays over 1 yard, and then we're in second and long. Not so men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, but they can definitely be misleading, right? So if you're watching a game in the flow of the game, and Marks breaks for 20 yards, and then the next 5 plays we're getting negative 2 yards, 1 yard. That's leaving us in second, third, and long. Not only that is I know people saying his play calling wasn't very creative, but when you have 2 tackles that's constantly getting abused, you can throw half your playbook out because now you can't even use half the stuff that you want to have. Now as a play caller, you can't even be aggressive. You've been more defensive because your first aspect is protection. So now I'm leaving tight ends in, I'm leaving running backs in the chip block, which is less for the defense to defend, right? And so now you got to get rid of half. You got to get rid of half your playbook because your playbook and you can't be aggressive. You can't be creative because now your first thought in calling the play is how do I protect my quarterback? How do we get some blocking? Because I can't leave my tackles out there 1-on-1, right? So you throw half your playbook out. And what I would like to see Riley do better is, and I mean I'm a football guy, right? Like, I'm watching 7 games at once. I'm watching film all season. That's what I do. Play football in college, right? But as a head coach, I don't think it's travel our issue. It's not play calling. When I look at our team and the issues that we have and how we lost those games, there's 2 main factors that needs to be fixed and addressed. The first one is discipline. It's that we can play a good quarter, then the next quarter I don't know where the focus is, and again, that's all on that's on coaching. That's on every position coach, but it's a lack of discipline, right? You got offensive linemen jumping off sides on first down, and now we in first and 15 behind the sticks, and everybody like, why he's not running the ball? But then we're only averaging, you know what I'm saying, 1 yard, 2 yards, and we standing these second and third down the long. When you say you can run the ball, I'd rather take a 3 yard average and over a 5 point average if we're doing it like how Minnesota did to us. They were getting 3 yards every time they ran the ball. It wasn't 20 yards, then 5 plays, you're only getting 1 yard negative play. But yet ours say we averaging five. That's how numbers can be misleading. Because if you're doing that, you know how many missed possession that is and how many second and thirds and long you in when you playing it the way we're playing it, but when you playing it how Minnesota and the other teams were running the ball against us, where they was actually getting 3 yards a carry, and they were staying in second and 5, third and 3. Guess what that led to? Fourth and 1, and we couldn't get off the field. That's why so many teams went for it on fourth down against us because it was always in fourth and 1 because we couldn't get negative plays. We couldn't stop the run. They would get 3 to 4 yards a pop, right? So that's the type of run game you want is a consistent run game. You don't want a hit or miss, and then we pop one long one, but it make our numbers and our average look greater because, we had those long runs. You want the consistent run. So the first thing I want to see our team is be more disciplined, and that starts with the coaching. I don't care if you got to get in their butt, if you got to take some people off the field, but it's the lack of discipline and focus that we have. The second thing, which is the biggest issue we had last year that needs to be addressed, and it starts with the head coaching, is we don't play complementary football. And I don't know if you know what complementary football is, but that means when our punter punt the ball and they got it on the 1 yard line, our defense don't let them go 90 yards and score, which happened a few times, right? We get a turnover on defense. That means the offense needs to go in and score, not get a 3-and-out, right? The offense scores, the defense can't let them come right back and score, right? That's complementary football. That's when all three phases are in tune and they playing together. And that's something we didn't do at all last year. Either special teams are playing good and offensive defense was playing bad. Offense was playing good, defense was playing bad. Defense was playing good, offense can't do nothing. Like at no point did we play a complete game, and Riley was saying, I don't know how we pull away. That's how you pull away. That's how you get that separation is when each phase of the game is complementing each other, right? Offense scored, defense stops them, right? Special teams get them pinned inside the 5. Defense, you get a 3-and-out. You get a turnover. You don't let them go all the way down the field. Defense get a turnover. Offense, you got to make them pay, right? And when you look at defense and complementary football, you can see it in our special team. Again, I'll say having 2 field goals blocked in a single year is absurd. That's not normal. That's not normal. And I went back again. I watched football all year. I've been watching all our season probably 10 times already this offseason. And you can see McCree. I don't know. Well, I don't want to call him by name out. But there was a lot of just bad assignments, lack of focus, and lack of discipline where they didn't even block somebody and they just came right in and blocked a field goal, right? And so those are the 2 areas that if we want to be what we want to be in this program, that's what got to be fixed. They got to learn to play as a team, play complementary football, and discipline.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that goes with what I was saying earlier too, Kristen. Lincoln Riley needs to look his guys in the eyes in these certain situations and make sure they are focused. It seemed like I'll see exactly what you were saying. And that's why I said what I said, man. It just seemed like the focus wasn't there in crucial moments. We have simple mistakes, missed assignments in those crucial moments.
And not only that, personal fouls, right? Lack of discipline. Right. Lack of discipline.
And that's hopefully what we are bringing Coach True in for that. Discipline, culture, all of that toughness. I think Coach True is going to be the icing on that for this team, making sure that they're mentally strong and physically strong as well. So like they're willing to like kind of grid things out and not give up any of those easy yards, and always have their assignments already in their head and knowing what they need to do. So I think Coach True will be able to help out with that for that situation.
I don't have no inside scoop like you guys, but I have heard that Coach True, like his first thing was like, was real was getting you guys discipline, right? Everybody wear the same socks. All this like it's the little things, right?
So
And build that culture now. Like I don't have the inside scoop, but I hear he's very like the players were reporting that you know he's disciplined. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you need.
Yeah, yeah, they're reporting that things have like the culture or has kind of shifted. Like things have definitely gotten more serious in a sense, and I think the way that they work out is different as well than it was last year. It's a lot more disciplined and not as loose as it could be or so. But I think Coach True definitely will kind of bring that out from this team here.
But B Jones has bet his house on it, and he promised me that the O line this year is it. So he bet his house on his money. He said he'd give up his house. He bet his deed on it that the O line was gonna be
yes.
what it needs to be this year. So I'm gonna believe it. I ain't see him. He's seen him. So
Did I
he
say O
told me not
line?
to worry about him. Yeah.
I think he was talking about the D line.
No. He said D line, and I kept on asking him about the O line. And remember, he kind of because he told me in a message, but then on the show he said Chris, I told you the O line gonna be fine. I told you that they gonna be all right.
Sounds like
Yeah,
something he would say.
I believe that. I mean, I stand by that. I believe that they will be.
All right, B Jones, they better not make you look dumb, man. You better not be homeless.
Man,
And Gun put his house. And Gun put his house. He Gun promised me that we won't have the kicking issues, field goal kicking issues this year.
yeah, we better not, man. See, that's another thing too, man. I want to see what we look like in the punting, as far as punting, man. Because Eddie was, I don't think y'all realize how good he was.
How good he was.
Bro.
Yeah, that is rare to have a kicker that good, man. So, you know,
But a lot of that too to the untrained eye and people who don't really understand football. A lot of his talent went away because a lot of his great kicks was wasted. Right? There was a lot of times he put teams in on the 1 yard line and defenses let him go right down the field and score a touchdown, 90-yard drive. It happened twice against Penn State. So when that stuff happened, it like if you have an untrained out of football, you don't really understand football. You don't understand how great this guy was to put that ball wherever he wanted to.
Yeah.
Like you remember the time he kicked from like the 20-yard line and booted it all the way inside the 10. But then guess what? Undisciplined play. It got called back. We got to kick it again.
Yep.
right.
You see what I'm saying?
He still got recognized for getting a trophy at least. I don't know why he wasn't the first punter picked, and they picked that Florida State punter, but whatever. Yeah. And I don't understand how he won the best punter award, but then was not even first team All-American for being
and not the first punt and not drafted. That was crazy. They took another kicker.
Yeah, Florida State's
B. Jones, which medallion you got on? You got the one I got?
Oh yeah, I got the.
Oh, okay. I got a different one. I got the actual Trojan. Okay.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all get yours, man. BC, you got the link? You dropped the link in there?
I haven't advertised it in a while. I've been just kind of busy.
That means you ain't trying to make no money, man. You got to sell yourself.
You can find the link pinned on X, man. If you look at our profile on X, it's pinned at the top. So go ahead, get your form.
I was to make these things for myself, so I getting all the what's called the material. It takes time and it takes up a lot of electricity too. I found that out this last bill, by the way. So. But yeah, I think I definitely do feel like this year is going to be a lot better, just based off just how this team is looking right now. And I know people are always going to just clown us for what we did last year, but we hung in there with a lot of the top. We hung in there with the national champion runner-up. We hung in there with the number 4 team in Penn State. We should have beat both of those teams. If we would have used Quentin Joyner a little bit more in that Penn State game, I think we would have came out with that win on that one because he was running all over him. But for some reason, Lincoln Riley went away from the run and didn't really run that much afterwards, even though he had it was a trick play, granted, but still, Quentin Joyner was still balling in that game for us. But all right. Anything else we want to get out there before we head out? We're almost at the top of the hour here, so
You know, I might have to make a whole video on this, but another sleeper, man, that people aren't really talking about, but I can definitely see him doing some damage this year. Freshman Floyd Picard.
Floyd Picard, yeah.
Hey,
There's a lot of freshmen.
That dude is special. He got some feet.
Yeah.
It's rare to see a guy that size with feet. Move the way he can move. So don't be surprised if he makes some noise this year.
Yeah, Gus Bus has definitely a chance to. Granted, it's a very crowded room, but like if you haven't seen that dude, that Gus Bus definitely is a special kid. He just kind of got the short end of the stick based off just a dumb being young and dumb. But the dude definitely has all the ability. He has them. He was one of the most recruited players coming out of high school. It's just his ranking was a little bit off based off, I would say, just a poor decision that he had. So I think
that's better for us.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm glad. Like, I'm not glad that what he did happened, but I'm just glad that no one really paid attention to him, and we just kind of got. We were able to get a diamond in the rough. Is this Jay's son right here?
Not that I know of. LSU better what?
LSU better?
They better what?
You guys better win the first game of the season?
Right.
Sorry. But yeah, because you guys haven't won a first game in what, 5 seasons?
Right.
Been a while, yeah.
The game was played last year. If you didn't know, and we showed who was better. So
you guys have a great or I don't even know if he's great, but a Heisman hopeful in your quarterback room. So we'll see.
Here's the thing about that with Nussmeier. I mean, Nussmeier gonna give you a pick or two a game, as well.
Yeah,
and that's one thing. That's one thing too. Like as a Trojan fan, I hope we. Well, not the first 3 or 4 games, because we're not playing anybody great. I mean, just not great teams, right? To me, when we go to Purdue that 3rd game, that's going to be a tall tale that tells me really where we're at. You know what I'm saying? Because Purdue is a game we should win, but it shouldn't be close. Like if it's going to tell us a lot about how good we are, right? If we don't get them by 3 scores, then we got some work to do. Those first 2 games, they shouldn't be close neither, right? Our team shouldn't be. Our first teamer should be out by halftime. But going to Purdue, right? We struggled to win on the road. I guess you could say we won one if you consider UCLA, on the road. I mean, it was at the Rose Bowl. But going to Purdue, if we go in there and handle business, it's gonna tell us how much mature and established this team is. And I know Guns was talking about number 6, Lucas, right? As not a pass rusher. Here's the thing: when Henny first came last year, and Deontay and Lynn, if you listen to what they were saying about all our D linemen, they said we put the size on them, we got them physical. Now what we got to do is we have to develop them as pass rushers. So that means when they got there was really no one on our D line that was developed as pass rushers. Now they're going in their 2nd year in this offseason with Henny and Lynn. We should see some people taking some strides with that coaching staff and the development on paper that we have, and them coming into it the first year knowing that, okay, the first thing we had to do is beef these guys up. Now we have to develop them as pass rushers. They knew where they were lacking at, and we should see that development start to come out this year.
Well, we'll see how he is when he's fully healthy and he's in fall camp, because that injury definitely can hinder him. So I hope it doesn't. I hope he's at a full recovery at this point. But MB Jones is gone again. But
yeah, he has to stop tapping into his neighbor's Wi-Fi. He's gonna have to get his own Wi-Fi.
He's on that Xfinity Wi-Fi, the free hotspot. But let's see. Without Bear, we are 3 plus already.
Oh wow.
But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we get out of here? We're pretty much at the hour right now. I'm a little hungry from a long day today, so I
think we're good, man.
All right, well, we might be back. We should be back this Wednesday here, but keep an eye out if we're not going to have a show. We'll definitely keep you guys updated on the socials here. But we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Hope everyone had a good Fourth. Hopefully everyone has their fingers still. You guys weren't idiots and held on to some firecrackers. But we're going to go ahead and get out of here. And until next time, guys, keep the torch burning bright. And always fight on.
But,
Fight on.